week's run, I guess. How are
Yes,
you?
yes, of course. I'm doing well myself. Yeah, I had a nice weekend here. I have been working on updating and sort of rebuilding my home studio, so I have no idea
Oh,
if
nice.
there's any noticeable difference in quality, but I put up some more more sound proofing up in the studio here. I got myself a new desk. So I'm very excited to be here and to be, sitting at this new desk and having this great conversation with you.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah, so I mean, you mentioned, well, I guess let me before we jump into the macro stuff here, let me just give some disclaimers, the usual disclaimers here. So of course, nothing we say in this show should be taken as financial advice. You should do your own research before making any financial and investment decisions. The show airs every single Monday. To make sure you don't miss an episode, go into the CoinMarketCap app and set your reminder to catch the next one. As a matter of fact, the next week's episode is already in the community section under live. So you can go there and set your reminder right now so that you don't miss it. But in case you do miss it, you can always listen to it after the fact by going to the live section of coinmarketcap.com/community or in the app and listen to it there, as well as catch it on your favorite podcast platform in the next couple hours or so after we finish the conversation here. So that is Spotify, that is Apple Podcasts, and that is several other podcast platforms. So, with that bit of housekeeping out of the way, let's see how people in the chat. Hello, Alice and Jonathan. Keep it 100. Yes, we definitely will keep it 100 during this call. Nice one there. I think that's complimenting the studio. Good morning to you, Patrick J, as well. And yeah, thank you to all of the community members who are joining to make this a what I think will be, as per usual, an exciting and packed crypto weekly forecast, weekly crypto forecast, I guess I should say. So, yeah. With that all said, are you ready to jump into the macro perspective, Alice?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's look at some data points. As we speak, the total crypto market cap is at 3.76 trillion USD. That's up 2.26% for the past 24 hours. The trade volume is stabilizing at 154 billion USD. Last week, when the massive liquidation happened, we saw it around $250 billion value, and now the market has come down a little bit. BTC dominance at 58.9%, Ether at 12.9% market dominance. Great to see Ether above 4,000 finally and BTC above 111K. As we speak, the CMC Crypto Fair and Great Index is giving me 30. That is still in the orange fair zone, although we have bounced back from the deeper low 20s. So it's great to see the market recovering a little bit. Altcoin season index is actually quite bad, guys. We're at 26 out of 100, so we're definitely still in BTC season. That said, we saw some great momentum happening this week. What is going on? So for the past 7 days, leading the chart, topping the performance. Number one is Floki. That is up 28.9% for the past 24 hours, up 20.5% for the past 7 days. That is driven by Elon Musk tweeting about his dog Floki and the meme coin pumped. And then number two is Athena, ticker ENA, that is up 10.6% for the past 7 days, largely driven by the whale war intensifies that we are saying. Crypto whales placed opposing bets on ENA derivatives, with one entity holding 70 million USD in mixed positions, while another opened a 75 million BTC short. So what we are saying is a bit of battle happening on ENA. So definitely keep an eye on that as well. And number three is Zcash. Zcash is up close to 17% for the past 24 hours. That is driven by what we are saying is mostly just TA signals bouncing back. Number four, we have Bittensor, ticker TA. Oh, that is also up 7.8% for the past 7 days. And then number five is XDC Network, up 6%. So some of these altcoins are having quite a strong momentum, but coming back to the major large caps, I guess, what we are saying at the moment, BTC has finally bounced back. Right now is giving me 111.4K at the moment, and that is up 2.6% for the past 24 hours. Ether is now at 4,044 USD. BNB bounced back slightly as well at 1,108 XRP 2.47. XRP does have quite a bullish view given, I will talk a little bit about this. We have DAT coming out, we have ETF decisions coming out, Solana 191 USD. So those are some of the major large alts. So overall, I would say the market has stabilized from last week's crash. What we are saying ahead of us is going to be a very busy ETF decision week. Is going to be a very busy end of October Fed decision speech time zone. So yes, overall the market has recovered a bit. That definitely took some edge off from the sentiment. So what? How are you feeling, Jonathan?
Definitely feeling a little bit better than I was, this time last week when everything was significantly down. So it's nice to look. I mean, if we look at the 7-day charts here, some of this stuff is still down a little bit more than I would like, but it's much better to see. I remember looking at the 7-day chart a few days ago, and everything was down like 10% or something. So it's great to see that that's recovering a bit, and to look especially at the 24-hour chart and see that we have a bit of momentum building up. That again, especially looking at Bitcoin, which was even just within the last 24 hours down to 107.6, 107.5 roughly. And on the 7-day chart, we're not quite back to where we were this time last week. But again, if we look at when we crashed down to 104K, it is great to see that we have added another, what is that, 7.5K roughly onto the price of Bitcoin. And it's got me feeling more excited and more motivated as we get into this week. And if you stick around to the end of this conversation, we will be going, or I will be going into some TA charts as well to help us think about how to frame where Bitcoin's price could go next in the short term. So yeah, I would say overall feeling definitely more excited and happy that Bitcoin and crypto is sort of back in the game and that this downward trend has not continued. How about you? How are you feeling overall?
Yeah, I think it's really good to say the market stabilizes. And we can see that from a few of the institutional flows as well. So, what we saw, for example, last week was that digital asset ETPs, they saw, yes, 513 mil USD worth of outflows after the October 10th of liquidity cascade. Although ETP investors, they largely shrugged it off. So I know there's a bit of different data points you guys are reading at the moment, because some are saying, social value, for example, they have reported, largely focusing on the US ETFs, they reported an outflow of 1.2 billion USD. That is the second largest outflows from in ETF history, I guess, like among crypto ETFs. But because it's focusing on solely just only a few specific ETFs, it's missing out on the entire market. But if you look, zooming out, what we're seeing is a bit of rotation, a product rotation as well. So based on the total holistic view that CoinShares data is giving us, digital asset ETPs, they saw only about 500 million or so outflows after the liquidity cascade. To be honest, given how severe the event was, how big the price correction was last week, it gives me a very good feeling when institutional investors are not having massive pullback. That also shows that they have, generally speaking, a way longer investment horizon than what we are used to in just the crypto native world. So the outflows were US focused. In the US, CoinShares said that they have about 620 million USD of outflows. But in Germany, Switzerland, and Canada, they actually recorded inflows as investors are buying the dip. Germany. If you guys remember, a year ago in 2024 summertime, when we had,